Good morning, Claudia. Yes, we are going to continue our conversation about the Motiva breast implants because this is a whole new procedure, a whole new implant. And so tell me a little bit about the specifics of this implant and really what makes them different than others on the market.
Yeah, so I've been publishing and lecturing and writing about implants forever and writing the FDA papers. And what I said about this implant, it's been around for 14 years around the world, so it's not brand new. Been under FDA clinical trials in the 6th year of that, and it finally got approved. But it's really the first time in over a decade that we have something really new with breast implants. The unique characteristics of it would be the surface of it, which isn't really smooth or textured. It's in between. It's called 4 microns, so it's very, very fine. So it's called silk surface, so it's like silk or like velvet, right? So in a way, it's very, very smooth that way. With that, you get almost a 0 chance of capsular contraction, less than 1% over that. That's what makes it really important, so it feels really natural. It also has increased viscoelasticity, which means it's very flexible. So you can put it through smaller incisions. It can look more teardrop shaped when you place it, more natural in a way. And then finally, it's made as a monoblock technology, which means the shell and the gel are one instead of being separate. So you get a higher performance, way less wrinkling and rippling, and of course, these very low rupture rates that are less than 1% at 10 years. Remember, there's another implant out there that has a 25% rupture rate at 10 years. This is less than 1%, so it's uniquely different.
Yeah, and so when people are coming to these consultations, kind of walk me through that process and how can you kind of determine if this implant is going to be right for them?
Well, I think no one implant is probably right for everybody, but what I like about this one is it has almost no immune response to it. So it has no inflammation, no fibrosis, no immune response. So we call it biocompatible, which means for anybody that has concerns about their health with their breast implants, I can feel more secure in placing the Motiva implants to be healthy. Who wouldn't I use it for? Well, I wouldn't use it in somebody who wants to use a really, really large implant or look very augmented because it doesn't form much of a capsule. So maybe I would worry that there'd be too much stretching from such a large implant. So like I said, it's great for a lot of patients.
Yeah.
And like for Andrea, who you'll meet, perfect for Andrea Hauser.
I was going to say, Andrea, you were the first person in the U.S. to get these implants. So tell me a little bit about the recovery process and working with Dr. Calabrese.
Well, first of all, Dr. Calabrese is amazing. He took me through 6 years of reconstruction with multiple implants from different manufacturers. And we finally got to the point where he said, I kept getting capsular contracture. And he said, there's this new implant on the market, not new overseas, but new here. And I really think you should hold off for that and let's see where it gets you. So we did, and I waited 4 years for Motiva. He calls me up and he says, hey, we're ready. It's go time.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Recovery was very simple. What I love about the implant, what makes it different from the other ones that I've had before, is just that it's the first time that it actually feels like me and my body. When I move, it moves. It doesn't stay stationary. It doesn't look like a typical implant with a ball.
Yeah.
It's a more natural, it feels natural. And just the movement inside my own body is the drastic change than what I had before. Because before it was always just there.
Right.
And this is just remarkable.
Yeah, the technology is definitely improving. And so coming up, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about some 2025 trends that we're going to see in aesthetics and how you can stop by and schedule your own appointment. Back to you, Claudia.